today we talk about some of the unhinged ways you can accelerate your job search, how you can stand out in your job search, and how you can show up in a different way, how you can show up as a more confident, senior version of yourself so that you're getting more referrals, more introductions, more interviews, and as a result, more offers. Welcome back to the podcast. Now, I call them unhinged ways to accelerate your job search. However, these are the things that I teach my clients and our clients are doing every single day. The reason I believe some people will feel like they're unhinged is because they are a little bit unusual and things that most people wouldn't do or wouldn't feel comfortable doing. So I actually believe that they're very normal and absolutely things that you should be doing. So, everything that I'm sharing today, 5 ways our clients are accelerating their offers, is again very much realistic, and what our clients are doing to get their senior 150K plus offers faster in just weeks, not months. So, let's begin. Number one, assuming that they're moving forward in the interview process. So, what do I mean by that? When they are, let's say, following up, when they're following up on an interview round, on the next steps, on the offer, they never just say, "Hey, I'm following up. Do you have any updates?" Because that's what everyone else is doing. And it puts all the power, or gives rather all the power to the employers. And it feels that you really have no control. Instead, what I remind my clients every single day is that a healthy level of pressure on the employer is a good thing. So, what do I mean when I say assume you're moving forward? When you're following up, your language is always, "Hey, let's put our next steps in the calendar. Here is my availability." Rather than saying, "Do you have any updates?" They just assume they're moving forward, even if they don't know that they are. But we always remind the employer that, "Hey, you are my top choice for XYZ reason. I am actively exploring other opportunities. Don't want to miss out on an opportunity to work together. Let's make sure that the next steps are on the calendar." So you're still very polite, you're very professional, but you are putting a little bit of pressure on them. And you're showing up as someone who is confident, in charge, you know you're moving forward. You just act as that someone who knows they're moving forward. So that's the first thing. The second thing that our clients do that some people will find uncomfortable and maybe unhinged is they send looms. If you don't know what a loom is, it's a video that you can record. It's essentially an easy way to share a link rather than recording a video and then uploading it somewhere. So it's an easy way in a couple of minutes, record a video, and then you have a link available right away. So they use looms, those videos, for networking, to follow up and reach out in networking. They use it when, for example, someone offered an introduction to someone very senior and they really want to connect with that person. So they record a loom for them. They use it as part of their interview process. They use it, for example, after the interview, if they felt like maybe there was something that they didn't get to cover, or there was maybe a question that they could have answered better. They use this loom, this video, as an opportunity to essentially revisit that conversation. I actually was coaching a client just yesterday who is now moving on to or I guess actually she didn't know yet that she was moving on to the third round of interviews, which was supposed to be with the skip manager. And she asked me, and we've been working on her looms quite a bit over the last few months. So she's gotten very, very comfortable with recording them and being very comfortable on camera and speaking up and feeling and looking and sounding very natural. And she actually asked me, "Hey, do you think I should record a loom and send it to the skip manager, even though I don't know yet that I'm moving forward to that next round, but she really wants this job?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, I love this. I love that you're thinking about it yourself, that you're thinking proactively, that you're coming from that place of, I'm assuming that I'm moving forward, and you're proactively connecting with this person." Again, those videos, depending on the case and the specific situation, they will be slightly different on what you actually cover in them. But her loom will be 2, 3, 4 minutes max, probably not even. So we're not taking up a lot of time from that person, but we are showing up. We are showing your energy, your presence, your communication, your confidence. Again, they can see you. This is a real human rather than you copy pasting something from ChatGPT, for example. So I am a big, big fan of Looms, and our clients use them every single day, even though in the beginning, typically they feel a little uncomfortable using them. And oftentimes the first couple take them 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours to record because they record multiple versions, but then they get very good at it and they love using them. The third unhinged way our clients are accelerating their job search is picking up the phone and making a call. Making a phone call. I know, I know. I believe we live in an era where most of us are avoiding making phone calls as much as possible. We prefer to book something online than make a call to do it. We prefer text, messages, email over actually calling someone. And it might feel a little old school, but because no one is doing it, no one is almost comfortable doing it. When you do it, you immediately stand out. And I'll give you a couple of examples of how recently two of our clients separately used phone calls. The first example is one of our clients in the UK, in London. She is changing industry. She is transitioning from being a pharmacist and really kind of hands on, being in that space, to more of a corporate pharma environment. And what she has been doing is she has been networking extensively, and she has been very, very successful at actually meeting the decision makers and the hiring managers and actually getting interviews even after she got automatically rejected, but getting interviews because she's actually talking to real humans. So she doesn't just send cold messages on LinkedIn or emails. She actually finds those people's phone numbers, picks up the phone, calls them, and books a meeting. I know it's scary, but the reason I love it so much is, yes, again, you're showing up and doing what no one else is doing, but you're also showing the employer what it's like to work with you, that you are confident, that you can have a bit of an uncomfortable conversation. So you're comfortable in those uncomfortable scenarios, that you are not scared of someone senior. I know it sounds so simple, but it's huge. And the second example that I have for you for where you can use a phone call is following up after an interview. One of our clients, she went through all 3 rounds and it was moving very, very quickly, 3 or 4, and it was moving quickly every single time. But then all of a sudden, she felt like it slowed down and she started overthinking it. And I said, hey, let's follow up, but let's actually give them a call. Let's give the hiring manager a call. And it worked. It worked. And she immediately was told, hey, we would love to have you in person. Here are the next steps. And she had her answer immediately. But again, she showed up as someone in that role. She showed them, here's what you can expect from me. I'm not going to shy away from something uncomfortable, Mr. or Mrs. Hiring Manager. All right, number 4, our clients follow up a lot. I did talk about it a little bit in the previous episode on kind of networking 101, some of the networking foundations that I truly believe in. And one of the things I talked about is following up and following up a lot. And this is something that actually comes up for our clients quite a bit because there is something about following up. There is some resistance that comes up for a lot of people. It can feel a little just uncomfortable. There's maybe a feeling that I'm showing up needy and desperate. And instead, I always remind clients that, hey, people are busy. They're pulled into so many different directions by work, family, social media. Everyone is fighting for your attention. When you're following up a lot, and I tell them, hey, every 2 to 3 days when you're networking, for example, you're following up with people that you actually want to connect with in a professional, respectful way, polite way, but you're being very, very persistent. And I push them to try all kinds of different follow-ups. LinkedIn messages, LinkedIn voice notes, LinkedIn video, Looms that we already talked about, email, trying other people on the team so that they can introduce you to the right person. So it often feels uncomfortable. And I actually have these conversations with the same person multiple times that, hey, I've already followed up with this person and I haven't heard back. And I push them again, let's follow up. And guess what? Every time they come back and they tell me, hey, thank you for pushing me because I finally heard back. I finally booked that meeting. They finally made the introduction that they promised me to make. They finally got me into the interview process. Persistence, persistence, persistence. And finally, number 5, they practice and prepare for interviews more than you probably realize. Today's Friday when I'm recording this, and Friday is our Share Your Wins Friday, where within our community in the Start Canada program, everyone shares their wins from the week. And I was reading them right before recording this episode, and so many people who are currently interviewing first round, second round, third round, they're sharing their experience, their updates on interviews, and they're thanking each other for all the peer practice that all of them have done that week. So I just want for you to hear this, that most people would say and thank, for example, 5, 6, 7 people that they practiced with that week of the interview or interviews. And they didn't just practice with that many people that week. They have been in the program for weeks, sometimes months. So they start practicing for interviews week 3 or 4, depending on your plan that we set for you. Sometimes actually in the first week, again, depending on what's going on in your job search. But the first month in the program, they start practicing and they practice consistently. They practice solo. They practice with our AI tools. They practice with each other. They practice with our coach. But the week of the interview, they have had 5, 6, 7 practice sessions with each other, plus AI, plus coach. So they practice a lot. And these are very senior people going for multi-6-figure roles. And that's how much they prepare. So are you preparing enough? Okay, so here are 5 ways to accelerate your job search. And here are the 5 things that most people are not doing right now and probably wouldn't do. But if you're here, I do encourage you to try them. And if you feel like, okay, I clearly need to level up my job search and I'm clearly not making progress as fast as I would like, let's talk. Let's see if my team and I can help you get your senior 150K plus role in weeks, not months. I'm going to leave a link to book a call with my team. It's free. It's a full deep dive strategy call where we look at where you're at in your search, where you're getting stuck, and how we can help you get unstuck and move faster. So go ahead and book your call and let's see how we can work together. All right, that is it for today's episode. I will see you very soon.